Color me impressed. I got to say, this Indiana Fever team has really, really impressed me. Fourth win in a row tonight. They beat Dallas in Dallas at the big arena. They moved them there. Caitlin Clark still wasn't playing, but they give Dallas credit. I mean, they still packed that arena. They're not a great team. They have some great players. Paige Beckers is going to be a star, even though she flops like a fish. But she's going to be good. But it wasn't our best game, but it was good. It was still good enough. I feel like we got contributions all across the board. Nobody that played tonight really didn't show up given the amount of time they played. The big news coming in today, we signed Chloe Bibby, Big Red, to a season-long contract. So no 7-day contract for her. She's going to be on the roster for the rest of the season. That's a good thing. Didn't use her a whole lot. Didn't use her a whole lot last game either. So hopefully we'll incorporate her more and more. But I guess we're just that stacked at the position. Didn't see much of Michaela Timpson either. Or was hoping to see a little bit more of her. Natasha Howard did play great, though. I mean, I give her a lot of credit. She did amazing. Aaliyah Boston was great. She really opened up aggressively, which I liked. And had a good game. But Kelsey Mitchell's a star again. She is fearless, no conscience out there, and I love it. It's pretty cool. I mean, yeah, it'll aggravate you when her shot's not falling, but you don't have to worry about her losing confidence, and that's a good thing. Some players, they miss a few shots, and you worry about them, losing their confidence and thinking, "Oh, I've missed all these. I'm going to miss another one." Kelsey is always 100% sure her next shot's going in. So glad to have her on the team for sure. Ari McDonald had an amazing game. She showed up and she showed out. Sydney Colson's been doing good too. Very happy to see her. I feel like she's been doing a lot better. Kind of was sort of non-existent there about the first half of the season and a little bit after that too. But she's really done well. So happy for her and Natasha. They, like I said, they've not taken the Dewana route. See, the Phoenix Mercury lost pretty bad again. It's the Dewana Bonner effect, and somebody mentioned it earlier. Dewana Bonner leaving opened up that roster spot for Chloe Bibby and has allowed Michaela Timpson to really flourish at that big position. So her choosing to leave us was a good thing. I'm going to start calling her Dewana Van Poppel. For those of you that are Braves fans like me, you know the legend of Todd Van Poppel. He Braves had the number one pick. I think it was the 1990 draft. Everybody wanted Todd Van Poppel, just a super great pitcher in Dallas, and one of the Dallas high school areas. He wanted to go to college, and told the Braves they drafted him. He says it didn't matter who drafted him; he wanted to go. But the Braves, this is 1990. That nobody knew they were fixing to go on a spree of 5 World Series appearances and a World Series win. So a lot of people seem to believe he just didn't want to sign with the Braves because the Oakland Athletics signed him later, and he wound up going to them. I don't think he ever went to college, but anyways, he basically made it clear to the Braves he didn't want to sign with them, either with them or with anybody. So they instead of drafting Todd Van Poppel, they drafted a guy by the name of Chipper Jones. And 20 years with us, 100 million division titles, one of the best Double-A seasons ever with the nearby Greenville Braves, when Greenville's team was still the Braves affiliate, and a World Series in 1995. Very, very good thing we didn't get the injury-riddled Van Poppel, whose career was a complete bust. So I'm going to start calling Dewana Bonner Dewana Van Poppel. Her last name sounds too much like boner, and she's not giving anybody a boner. We'll just put it that way. So Dewana Van Poppel it is. Just glad to have her gone. Glad to have Michaela Timpson and Chloe Bibby there. Glad to have Chloe Bibby in and Michaela Timpson taking in more minutes. I know, like I said, neither of them played much tonight, but it was a good night, though. We seem to have an embarrassment of riches at depth. Like I said, Caitlin Clark's not even playing, and we've won the last 4. So I think they said we go to, as the announcer so succinctly put it, we are now 8-7 on the season without Paige Beckers. So I'm sure they meant to say Caitlin Clark, but yeah, so that's good. And like I said, just the way I feel like they're playing very well together. They're playing very good team ball, and whenever whenever Caitlin comes back, I know she's watching this. I know she's going to tailor her game for this, and I really think you're going to see a lot of really good things then from everybody. I think she's going to distribute it well to everybody, and launch her shots too. So very excited about the future. Who knows? Maybe if she can come back with about 10 or so games left, we can kind of get some momentum heading into the playoffs, and who knows? Maybe make a deep run. Maybe win a round or two. Who knows? But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Like I said, just happy for them. Happy our team's not the Phoenix Mercury. Not only for Dewana, Alyssa Thomas wouldn't answer questions after we beat her down and booed her girlfriend out the building, which was pretty cool to see. So she didn't mind talking trash to us, but then when we beat her down, she disappears and won't face the music. But that's the WNBA. They don't have to. They want all this money without they want to be paid like superstars without having to act like superstars. And also, Kalia Copper did a lot of complaining about us booing DeWanna Bonner for quitting on us. I'm just impressed that Kalia Copper kept her wig on throughout all that complaining. So kudos to her. So nice to have teams to hate. Dallas has Dejanay Carrington. She's just not a good player. I don't care what anybody says. Not a good player. Her girlfriend got traded out of town. Melissa Smith, my least favorite couple in the WNBA, as opposed to Dewana Van Poppel and Alyssa Thomas, who are my second least favorite couple in the WNBA. I'm telling you, the referees are afraid of Dejanay Carrington. She just talked and clapped and talked and talked and talked to the officials, which should have been a technical. They're not going to call technicals on her because they don't want to have to hear from her afterwards. Their thing is just ignore her and don't give her what she wants, which is attention. Which, I mean, kudos to them for not giving her that, but at some point the integrity of the game has to come into play and you have to call some technicals there. And maybe, who knows, actually suspending her for misconduct or something like that. Something that's pretty foreign to the WNBA. I mean, as a whole, the league's still not ready for the big time. And I don't know what that last challenge was about, where they took 2 points off the board for Indiana. I'm guessing it was that Sophie Cunningham play like 5 minutes beforehand when she put up a shot at the buzzer that went in. I guess it went out of her hand. They were replaying it, and they were not conveying very well what they were replaying. And by not conveying very well, I mean they were not conveying at all. Because we thought they were seeing whether or not the Fever on that Kelsey Mitchell layup was a shot clock violation. Well, Aaliyah Boston, Nolissa, tough names. Aaliyah Boston, shot up a three that missed everything, but a Wings player caught the rebound, started running, threw it away, back to Aaliyah Boston, who dished a beautiful dime to Kelsey Mitchell and laid it in. So that wasn't it. And if that was it, then we need a huge explanation. So nobody knew what was going on. There's got to be better communication there. I know it's not their usual arena for Dallas. They had to bring in more people, but if y'all want to be in the big time, you got to be ready for the big time. You got to do better than that. So officiating, kind of erratic for both sides. I don't think it really affected anything. I feel like we got away with some stuff. I feel like they got away with some stuff. Paige flopped quite a few times and got fouls, which is frustrating, but it is what it is, And sometimes I feel like both sides got kind of ticky-tack fouls. So overall, Dallas just seems to be a very undisciplined team. So hopefully they'll get a better group for Paige. Maybe she wants to flop like she's LeBron James, flopping for calls, or I don't know. That's the real pandemic in basketball. Hopefully they'll fix that. But like I said, just super proud though of the Fever. Stephanie White, I gave her a lot of credit. She's done, I feel, very well with the rotations and the game plan, calling good timeouts. People like myself have given her a lot of shit this year, and I don't take back stuff I gave her stuff for. But I'm gonna call it both ways too. She's done a very good job, especially the last few games, holding things together without Caitlin, and going with that game plan. And hopefully when Caitlin comes back, she will allow her to cook, which she kind of wasn't doing in the past and kind of had to. And And like I said, hopefully, as an organization, especially them winning on a good heater right now, they're going to make sure she's nice and rested and rehabilitated and healed before she comes back. So they say she's practicing with the team, so it's a good sign. So I think she'll be back at some point, probably sooner rather than later, but hopefully not too soon. So congrats to the Fever, good job, and thank you guys. I'll talk to you later.